I'm hitting the record button now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Top of the Table. Tuesday, August the 10th. Brian, Mark, Hank, Chris. Hank's in his car because it wouldn't be a show if somebody wasn't driving.
Is there a filter that makes me look less fat?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's the video camera off button.
Where it says stop video.
All right, fuckers.
Hey, Ballard, the blue one is the redesign?
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah. I mean, it will look better when there's stuff on the walls and we have an oven and a countertop, but yeah.
Right. How much longer?
Well, we're actually going to be away for 2 weeks in a week and a half, so it's probably not going to get done till the end of September.
I can come over and put some stuff on the walls.
Yeah, I bet you can.
Industrial grade. Right up his nose.
We're good for spackle, thank you.
And to clean the musket.
Talk about a midnight ride.
We got a couple of good ones right out of the gate. Hashtag spackle, maybe. Hey, Hank's in the car. Where are you driving to, Hank? Parole?
I'm actually driving home from the office.
Oh.
And to the
You have a job again?
Well, I've always had a job, yes. But I went into the office for a gathering for a friend of mine who's moving to a new job on Monday. So I went in for the afternoon, and now I'm driving back.
Nice.
Ballard, your jersey's crooked.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
I'm not going to stand here and hold my bloody laptop the whole time. It's the desk that I've made for myself. This is why I didn't do the kitchen myself.
You know, Nick's going to complain anyway, our one viewer.
He's not going to.
What are you looking for, Mark?
I look like Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Look at that. The fuck is that?
That's better than looking like skinny fat bastard from Austin Powers 3.
Yeah, well.
Nick looks like a vagina. All right.
Before we really start, I just want to say one thing.
Before we really start.
I was thinking about something. We've been doing this off and on for 10 years now. Yes. And yeah, no one ever listens to us. And okay, fine. But you know what? I'm lucky because this is a lot of fucking fun. I get to talk to you guys for half an hour to 45 minutes once a week. Outside of my family, sadly, it's usually the best part of my week. So thank you guys because this is a lot of fun. There's no pressure because no one listens to us. We get to have fun and make jokes, and I love it. Thank you.
I will tell you, we had someone on Twitter named @DCUMark said, DCU won, you have to talk about him this week. And I said, okay. And I sent him 2 tweets. I sent him a third one today, and he's deleted his account.
What are you going to do?
So, sorry? Apparently, I lost us a listener.
Mark Villa's ghost account.
Yeah, my DCU burner account. That was it.
Right.
Well, I like how Mark had a very emotional thing that he said that and we just ignored him.
Are we sure it wasn't one of the Nigerians?
Ooh.
Probably Ted.
Could be. It could have been one of the Nigerians.
We're huge in Nigeria.
You know what we do? We start every week with ladies first. We always end with Mark because Mark's team is continuing to stay in first place and almost run away with it. Hank.
3 goals. Yes.
But how many points?
3 points. I think it brings us up to what, 5 or 6? I mean, yes, we beat up on Kansas City, which isn't that hard to do apparently, but you know, it felt good to see some people score some goals, and you know, 3 of the recent signings all contributed. Jesus, there are chairs in the fucking road. Wow.
And they fuck you in the drive-through.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Anyway, it was great. Good. I watched the rather, and it was a good wrap up to a good weekend of football.
Ballard.
Another binary score.
Our teams played this week. Yes.
Yeah, another binary score for New York, New Jersey, Gotham, 1-1. I think it was a very late goal for the good team.
1-0.
1-0. That's not according to the thing that I'm looking at right now because I didn't know the score before 20 minutes ago. You have the Houston Dash as your team?
No?
No, I didn't think so.
I thought it was 1-0 as
Who do
well.
you think my team is?
Your team is New York, New Jersey.
Gotham.
Oh, you know what? I'm looking at last week. Well, that last week was a
Yeah,
dynamite.
way to be on top of the game.
Right. Yeah, North Carolina beats New York, New Jersey 1-0. The race is tightening here for second. North Carolina is second in the table at 21 points. New Jersey right behind third at 20 points. But it doesn't matter because, Mark, who's leading the table?
Portland Thorns,
With 28 points.
by any other name. A rose would smell just as sweet. It was a good game. I had a lot of fun watching it. I tweeted to Christina, our friend from Chicago, Christina Murillo, in case Hank was wondering who that girl was. It was Christina Murillo. I tweeted to Christina asking her about the rubber bits in the turf that get kicked up. Because man, that ball, it would bounce off a pass and you just see rubber bits fly. And then other parts of the field, you watch a player go down, no rubber bits. So obviously they dumped a bunch of rubber bits on the pitch and never had time to actually disperse them correctly. So it was an even playing field. And I had that question. Does it really throw the speed of the ball off that much?
And what'd she tell us?
She told us that it does affect the speed of the ball. It's very maddening. And in her experience, when she was playing, that the turf bits coming up were a sign of an old, beat up turf.
Right.
This is a rather new surface, I believe. And it was just they fill in between the blades of plastic grass with these little shredded tires, plus little bits of rubber. And that is to facilitate and mimic the actual give that an actual natural surface gives, so players are less prone to get hurt. It also adds bounce to the ball and cushion for the players when they fall.
Ballard, does your indoor place have those?
My indoor place doesn't, but the place we play outdoors has them. And normally you get home and you take off your shoes and you dip out, you dump out a bunch. I always thought it was a method designed to make the turf last longer.
Yeah,
it's an all-around thing. It's designed for several purposes, but originally the thought was, as far as I could read, where I saw, the original thought was it allows some give when a player stops, so they don't just stop and wrench their joints.
That's how I tore my ACL, was on basically a flat carpet surface with nothing to give. And then our new facility we played at has those bits, and they are everywhere. Yeah, thank you, Christina. She said it slows down. It made it slower for her, and that was a sign that the field needed to be leveled or resurfaced.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the 9 Canadians that won gold medals last week for the NWSL.
Congratulations to the U.S. women's national team for getting bronze.
Yeah, we talked about that.
They played a great game.
And Washington reassigned, finger quotes, head coach Richie Burke, as Chris Ward is now the interim. Washington sitting 7th with 13 points. 7th with 18 points. When really there's only 3 points that differentiates all the way up to second place. Crazy move? Not a crazy move. What do you think?
Not a crazy move.
You think it's crazy, Hank? What?
No, I don't think it's crazy. I think,
Thanks for your input.
This
is going to be the 1 week that
it's Frogger.
People respond, and it's going to be put Mark back in the car and not Hank.
This is good stuff.
Make a change. They should be playing better than they are.
I'm just going to ask Hank every question after this drags out. Well, let's get started. Here's the way the show works. I will ask my esteemed panelists a series of rapid fire questions. Mark, is that your ringtone?
No, it's not. Well, it is, but yeah.
This week's show brought to you by Taco Cabana. It's fast, it's fresh. It's Taco Cabana.
We're going to get sued for using someone's music.
Herb Albert would never sue us.
That means you have to listen.
He was my landlord. He was my landlord once upon a time, way back when in Hollywood.
What?
Yeah, he owned the building I used to live in. When I got my deposit check back, it said Herb Albert on it. It got stolen when I moved to the Valley, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Small trivia.
Doesn't matter. I will ask my esteemed panelists a series of rapid-fire questions. They will provide some sort of answer, be it accurate or not. You can follow along with a hashtag that will organically come up through the show. No one will. Here we go. Question number 1. Since July the 3rd, when they beat Toronto 7-1 and got Chris Armas fired, DC United is 4-1-2, only losing to Philly. But they're just 6th in the East at 27 points, where 3 points separates 2nd to 6th place. Their next 3 games are Nashville, who they are behind at 5th, New England, and Atlanta. Hernan Lozano is getting it done lunch pail style with no big names. Andy Nahar scored versus Montreal. It was his first goal since September 29th of 2011. Mark, you were asking me where he was. Here's your question. This is for Lori. DC United finishes top 4 in the East. Yes or no? Mark.
No, but they will make the playoffs or make a run.
Chris.
Yes, they do. Only just. They finished 4th.
You think they finished 4th? Okay. Hank. He's
on mute, isn't he?
His phone is muted.
Hey, I'm going to say no. I think they're going to choke.
Okay.
Lori, he said it. We didn't.
Okay, since Hank is driving, I have to ask. When you guys are driving and go through a tunnel, do you honk the horn?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
No. Do you do that when you're turning a corner in a parking garage?
No.
No, I didn't do that.
That's big here.
No, I just fucking floor it and hope for the best.
When someone lets you...
like my neighbors that night when you were visiting and we were in the garage hanging out.
I'm going to make a U-turn right now into this person's yard. Okay, so we have to give the backstory. So this was in 2019 when I was out there in October.
19 or 18, yeah.
Visiting Mark, and we were sitting out in his driveway, and the neighbor catty corner across the street has like a gate, a small
wrought iron
gate. And there was a car that was sitting on the cross street for a good solid 10 minutes. And it was facing us. And all of a sudden, the car slams into gear, takes off, and does the tightest U-turn I have ever seen and goes right through the wrought iron gate. Mark and I don't move. And I look at him and he goes, eh. And we sat there, and driver gets out, starts speaking Spanish with the homeowner. Mark's like, don't call the cops. This can't get reported. Like, he's translating to me. We're sitting like a couple of yentas in lawn chairs in the front. Like, we walked out like, oh, we got a great seat for this.
Did the cops come?
No. Driver was able to
smooth it out with the homeowner.
Someone's nephew did brickwork. Someone's nephew did body work. It was all sorted out.
Yeah, it was like, don't worry.
Guys came over. There was some beer. It was good.
Yeah. NYCFC drew with Toronto and Chicago last week, which is not really good results given the fact that they beat Orlando 5-0 in Colorado and Columbus 4-1 earlier this year. Are they a home team only, Hank?
Yes.
Thank you. Chris?
Yeah, I think they drop out of the top 4, which is where I think DC come in.
So you think DC takes their spot?
Yeah.
There you go. Can't complain, Lori. Hey, Mark, go ahead.
I think a lot of teams are home teams this year simply because of the amount of travel and midweek games that everyone's having this year. In years past, it wasn't this heavy of a schedule as far as the midweek games. Teams like historically successful teams like the Galaxy, Seattle, Portland, Toronto, teams that were always in CCL had lots of midweek games for a big chunk of the season. Now everybody's having to experience. I think everyone's just getting beat up, and you can tell by level of play from week to week. Sometimes a team just clicks, other times they're just dog poop. Just big, runny, messy, 3-day-old white dog poop.
I thought when it was white, that's when it was dried. I didn't understand.
You don't see white poop a lot these days, do you?
No, you don't.
When you were a kid, you seem to see it all the time.
Right.
Like, thanks, Mum. I'll pack my own lunch next time.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a game at New York City FC?
No.
Oh, it's the worst experience I've ever been to.
Why is that?
Because it's, first off, baseball fields are essentially triangular. I mean, they're not quite, but they're triangular. So they put the field in at a weird angle, which means that it's a very narrow field. They laid turf over some of the dirt stuff. On
the infield.
The infield.
Yep.
And also, like, I went with a press pass. I'm like, the press box is going to be great. I was fucking miles away because that's behind home plate, and that's not where the field is. The best seats, one I can tell, are the bleachers, the cheap seats that they would be
in the outfield,
by the foul poles, right?
Yeah. So the TV angles don't help, but even when you're there, it's a lot worse. I would not recommend going to watch a game there.
Every game that NYCFC game I've watched on TV, they always stick to either the on the field camera or they go to not what we're used to seeing. It's a little higher up. There's one that's about in the middle of that, and it's incredibly distracting and it's hard to follow. And
because you can't see over the dugouts,
right?
You can't see corners. Yeah.
They don't have anywhere to mount the cameras because the normal place to mount the cameras is over home plate, and then you realize how far away you are from anything.
Right.
I know I'm pointing behind me. I'm not actually there, but yeah, it's an awful. I think the first game I saw there was one of those International Champions Cup things. It was Chelsea and somebody, I forget who, and it was the year before they started, and it was awful. And I'm still waiting for Garber to enforce them getting an actual stadium, but I think we all know it's never going to happen.
Well, talking about midweek games, the League's Cup is starting tonight. The Liga MX MLS competition.
The money grab?
Yeah, with Kansas City, Seattle, NYCFC, and Orlando playing Leon, Tigres, Pumas, and... oh gosh, I'm going to get this wrong. Santos Laguna. So, again,
like
that's
SuperLiga.
Say what?
Sounds like SuperLiga.
I was going to say, it's no SuperLiga.
But I think this is a testing the waters for some sort of a merger. Anybody agree or disagree, Mark?
Not that I disagree. I just can't see it happening. I can't see MLS unless Liga MX is able to come up with a just astronomical shit ton of cash to buy into the league. I don't understand how it's going to happen because no one's going to want to dilute the pool and lose their money.
Hank?
They'll get it back in viewership, not necessarily a TV deal, but there's no guarantee they'll ever recoup the loss if they let X many teams into the league without paying a substantial amount.
Hank, give us your yes or no.
Yeah. I also disagree. I don't think it's going to be a merger. I literally think they tried this back in 2008, 2009. As a way to get more viewership, a way to get more money. They called it the SuperLiga. It was basically a plastic tournament cup where you basically had a very select few teams. It's just another stunt, and it'll probably go away in a year or two.
Well, it's also the MLS All-Star game this year is against the Liga MX, so I think they're really trying their best.
I think they're going to try and start some sort of faux
rivalry.
It's a rivalry, but it's just a money grab for both sides to try and make some extra cash out of TV contracts. They'll try some mini tournament throughout the year, like SuperLiga, or they'll do an off-season tournament to keep fans interested.
We all agree the real winner of this is Adidas jerseys. Go ahead, Ballard.
I agree with Mark and Hank. I think they're trying to get more money out of it, and I think it would be a terrible idea to consider any kind of merger. I wouldn't see a plus side for either side.
See how you say scarf the statue in Spanish.
Hey, speaking of Canula de Sofa, did you get the video that I sent you, by the way?
Who, me?
In Dutch, paint my best side.
No.
Stand by. Stand by.
I think Google. I'm seeing why we only have one.
Google. How do you say in Dutch, pick my most beautiful side? Everyone, please Google that at home and turn your sound up.
All right, moving on.
Our last question of the day. Colorado is near the bottom in total payroll, but just sold Sam Vines to Antwerp, traded for Mark Anthony Kaye, and added left back Lucas Esteves from Palmeiras. Fourth in the West at 28. Can they finish above LA Galaxy, Hank?
Yes.
Yes, and you can also play along this week with Hank in a can. Hashtag Hank in a can. The fucking string he's got tied on there is not long enough. Ballard.
Yes, they can, because LA are gonna be terrible.
Mark, go ahead.
They can.
The bed.
They can, but they won't.
Why? Because LA Galaxy's the best.
No, they're not.
Did the Galaxy lose to this weekend?
They didn't. They drew Vancouver. It was a shit game. They shit the bed, but they've got some chemistry that's going to come along here. So Colorado will finish, I think, fourth.
All right. Last question, because I wanted to talk about some teams that we don't normally talk about, and I thought we had some good performances here to mention. Which of the two teams do you think makes the most noise in the playoffs, DC or Colorado? Mark.
DC.
Okay, I like it. Hank.
Colorado.
Thank you for joining us for our final panelist in a car show. Ballard.
I think they'll both get to the same stage of the playoffs. So both of them will be the same. They'll both get to the conference semifinal and then get knocked out.
Very interesting. All right.
How is Tree Root Root Ball United doing?
Hold on, I will tell you. Austin FC currently sits 12th in the West, tied for 12th with Vancouver at 16 points.
And is there the faux rivalry with Houston and Dallas forming, or is it just a lot of,
Well, the way the schedule worked this week is that Austin played Houston and Dallas this week, and Dallas beat them at home. And hold on, I will give you the correct answer. Austin won at home over Houston on the 4th, 3-2. And then they lost at Dallas 2-0 on the 7th. I will tell you that if you follow Pete Welton at PEET2 on Twitter, Austin had 2,000 fans that traveled to Dallas, and the FC Dallas TV truck changed their camera angle to box out those fans and never show them on TV. I'll go find Pete's tweet.
Was that Crazy Lady's idea, or is that just?
I would assume that was probably the TV truck's idea.
All right.
I will.
Did they show the bike racks in the safe stand area, or?
No, they've actually,
or the empty museum, or
they do have the
or the tunnels that surround the stadium. Do they show those tunnels that surround the stadium?
No,
instead.
But they
Because
did.
they're the only team that has tunnels that surround the stadium. In case you guys didn't know, in Dallas, they have these things that like surround the stadium where people can walk and buy things. They're the only ones who have that in their stadium.
What?
I don't know. I'm just talking shit.
Wasn't following any of that because I was just retweeting Pete's tweet about and you can see it. He's got a screen cap from the game, which is a tighter lower angle, almost NYCFC angle. And then he was at the game. You pull out, and there's just a swath of 2,000 green and black jerseys.
How does Lamar Hunt not have a single grandkid named Mike?
Because he's seen Porky.
Okay.
You know what? I can't think of a better way to end the show than on a Porky's reference. God bless you, Chris Ballard.
You're welcome.
Ballard. Hey, Hank, thanks for joining us from your Taco Cabana shift in the drive-thru. Again, it's fresh. It's favorite. It's Taco Cabana this week.
Ground control to Major Hank.
Yeah.
Do I have to do it for my car next week?
You can join us playing along using hashtag Hank in a can. We hopefully, Lori and DCU Mark, if you ever show back up, that all of our DC listeners have been satiated, at least for this week. That's all I got. Hank is on Twitter and Instagram at Hisco5. He's currently frozen in his car somewhere in the middle of the Northeast. Mr. Ballard, please go ahead.
I'm at Chris J. Ballard on the Twitters, and I do a Talk United podcast called at Talking Talkie.
And they're back, right?
Their season starts Saturday week, and I will be there.
Nice.
Good you're going home?
Yeah.
They have a go with your sister?
Yeah, they lifted the restrictions, so I can go without having to quarantine.
I will give you the highlight of our text chat from the week.
Oh, good.
As Ballard sends it. Oh God, hold on. Ballard was texting somebody and he said, "I'll be there. And if you next week, I'm out for 2 weeks." And somebody said, "Where are you going?" He said, "England. Now that we won't have to quarantine for 10 days, I can go with my sister." To which he was smart enough to send to the three of us. And
yeah, I should say it's supposed to say visit.
Yes.
Right.
Listener.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Give the best Ballard our love.
I will. She's getting married next year, and I get to give her away. So I thought I should meet the dude first.
This
Wiener punch him.
So Hank's driven home. He's now gotten to his perch.
Bye, Hank.
So he can put in his AirPods. Hey, you can follow Mark at the Mark Via on Twitter. I'm at
Twitter's and
Twitter and Instagram.
And Fat Kid Nutscapes on OnlyFans.
Oh, and Fat Kid Nutscapes. See, what I was trying to do was spit everything out so I could hang up on Hank before he got sat down with his earphones in.
Wait, what about Evan Ream?
Oh shit!
I will have to have him next week.
All right. Well, maybe I am writing a note to myself right now. Look, I'm showing everybody. It says Evan Ream.
Evan Ream sack.
I know.
We should get Jake back on the show.
Ooh,
we can't have more than one.
Jake works overnight, so we have to catch him on the weekend, or we have to record late at night.
Well, it's like I'm opposed to that. Like you're opposed to that.
I'm not opposed to it at all.
We could do a top of the table after dark with just you, me, and and Jake and my Nutscapes.
Yeah. Saw where that one was going.
All right. Hey.
All right. At Top of the Table TV on Twitter, topoftheTable.tv if you want to watch Hank frozen in his car for 35 minutes. Ballard, so you're gone next week?
I'm leaving on the 18th, so I'll be here this weekend.
Ooh. So do we have to put our orders in if we want anything from over there?
If you want something, do let me know. I'll see what I can do.
What?
I want Tim Tams.
Tim Tams. I think I can get those here, actually.
Yeah, so can I. They're just stale.
There's them at the grocery store.
Yeah, they're stale. But you want Ballard to try to smuggle them in like a mule. I know what you want.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what I did do one year is I did smuggle in half a dozen Kinder Eggs.
Like a mule?
Yeah, I mean, not in my ass. I mean, my ass doesn't have that much in the way of volume, but
you'd be surprised what you can get up there.
Yeah, but also those very sharp plastic pieces. I didn't want them to break.
Yeah.
Is Wrexham in the same division as?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
What about damn near killed him?
Yes, they're paying a guy £9,000 a week apparently.
Kitty cat.
Yeah, I saw they just signed a big guy. I guess he came down a division.
Yeah, he was the top scorer in the league above last season. The team that got promoted with him offered him a contract and he turned it down.
To move down a division. Okay.
Yeah, which is around about 10 times the average salary, at least in that division, I would think. There's 4 or 5 teams who have a really big budget because next season there's a salary cap coming in. And there's only one automatic promotion. So there's 4 or 5 teams who expect to get promoted and they can all go up.
Oh my. So the games are going to get better.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good, fun division last season, but this year's going to be crazy. And our team, we played Bournemouth under 23s this afternoon and beat them 4-0. And we were really good. So we'll see. But I've been hurt before.
Did I send you that one?
I think so. Yeah.
The shoes fit, by the way?
Yes. Thank you. All right. Hank, how you do your home? You're better. You're good. Where's the dog?
And of course he doesn't have his microphone on. All right.
Muted.
That's it. That's enough. I've had it. Hashtag Hank in a can.
Hank in a can.
You can turn the mic off on from your side, Brian. You know that, right?
Yeah. Mark's on this show. I've turned the microphone off many a time on this show. Hello. 10 years, man.
Can you hear me? Hello.
All right.
I'm glad you made it home
safe,
safe, Hank.
Goodbye. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Next week. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.